It's Monday, January 18th, 2021. I'm Greg Nibbler, and this is Two Box Live. Yes, hello everyone, I am Greg Nibbler, and thank you for joining us wherever you are. We do appreciate it. Of course, this is Two Box Live, part of Two Box Media, so hit follow, like, subscribe, share, all of those things that you do on social media, wherever you're at, wherever you're watching, we do appreciate it. Then we get the notifications when we do go live, because we'd like to keep you up to date on what's going on in the world of tech, entertainment, and culture, in addition to plenty of other things that we have up as well, so follow us and you'll get access to all of that. But first off, let's go ahead and start off with today, and we are talking about the fact that it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yes, indeed, January 18th, celebrating his birthday. It would have been his 92nd birthday, well, about 3 or 4 days ago, but nonetheless, this is the day. And since this is what we're focusing on, a lot of people are today, obviously, for so many reasons. I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of ways in this virtual world that we are living in right now, in the middle of a pandemic. Clearly, large gatherings of groups and marches aren't something that really can happen right now because of that. So I wanted to highlight a few things that are going on that you can participate in online in celebration of this day. And one of those has to do with the King Center and a broadcast that they are doing, highlighting various different speakers, various sermons that are going on, and kind of celebrating the life and also talking about what can happen right now. So the King Center is a really good space to look. Another place to go to are local organizations. Honestly, if you just hit in Google online MLK celebration for your area, there are celebrations going on all over the country and all over the world, really, and different things that are happening as far as live streams and ways that you can participate and help out. Another thing that's going on, this is a really unique one, kind of ties in the times that we're in. It's coming from LA Works, and LA Works is doing something to where they're going to have a broadcast that's actually set in Minecraft. Yes, set in Minecraft, and it's kind of commemorating the 1963 March. So as you can see there, they've recreated Washington, D.C., recreated the Capitol, and there's going to be tour guides that will take you through this. Again, a very unique ways, especially really good for children if you want to get them involved. I know they all love their Minecraft, so you will need a computer, a Mac PC, PS4 or 5, or a Switch, or an Xbox in order to participate in that. But they are also trying to get out licenses if somebody doesn't have a license for Minecraft. So there's different ways you can get a hold of that. But that's pretty cool and unique way that they are going to be doing that. So again, that's coming from LA Works and something they're doing. And finally, another highlight I just wanted to bring up if you really want to educate yourself and take a look at some footage. The Library of Congress has an extensive library of online reference materials, videos, explainers, talks, all kinds of things that you can go through and take a look at for a lot of things, but in particular, if you want to find out more about MLK, the 60s, the civil rights struggle in general, there's just a wealth of information there, and I always find it pretty beneficial to take a look at actual footage from the time, and interviews that happened during that time to see what it was actually like as close as we can, and so I would recommend that as well. But again, just highlighting a few of those different things in this world that we're in right now, where you can go and take a look at what is happening and follow along for MLK Day. All right, continuing on here with trending technology. Let's talk about some other things just to get you started off here with the week. These are stories that are trending right now, and I wanted to bring them up. And the first one is this, talking about virtual world and working from home. How do you let your boss know how you feel? I'm not sure how you did before this, but this is a new way to do this. It's a company called Moodbeam, and this is how they envision employees conveying to managers how they feel about what's going on without having to have the direct confrontation of doing so. So this bracelet, essentially, that you wear, it's a wearable, and this thing would basically allow you to hit a button. There's a yellow button for happy, there's a blue button for unhappy. And throughout the day, you hit this whenever you're feeling like it, whenever you're asked. You don't have to directly convey it to your manager, but then that information is gathered into an app, and that app, all the data, is then aggregated and given to management to understand where the general temperature of the company is, if people are not happy or if they are happy. This is certainly a sign of the times. I know I keep saying that a lot, but I mean, really it is. This is something where you can do this and you can let people know. Now, with the bracelet itself, This will then be used to talk about the emotions of the company, and then they can adjust as they see fit from the management standpoint. Kind of interesting. Like I said, there are some other things that they're hoping that they can do with this, as far as taking that data and maybe using it for bigger purposes. But that is where it's at. It's called Moodbeam. Is that something that you would want to use? Is that something that you would enjoy? I mean, I can tell you there are certainly times I wish I could have conveyed when I had managers my feelings on certain subjects, and maybe a blue button would have satisfied that. I'm not sure if that will really solve everything, but it does give at least a measurement of where things are at. So this is a UK company. So again, Moodbeam, and this is what they are doing for that. So let us know what you think about that in the comments whenever you're watching this. I want to know if this is something you would use. Continuing on, let's talk about drones. Yes, indeed. Drones, autonomous drones, delivery drones, commercial drones, something we bring up a lot. But now the FAA has done something for the very first time, and that is giving a license to a completely autonomous commercial drone company. This is something that hasn't really happened before, meaning they don't have to have a human there piloting it or even in sight of the drone in order for it to be used. So that's kind of the key point here. So this is, again, the first time. And what this is aimed at is really remote operations, agricultural operations, landscape management operations, things where it's costly even to get somebody out there. So this is from a Massachusetts-based company called American Robotics, and this is what they are doing with this. So the drones, again, would not need a human pilot. You will still have to have a human who checks in for a pre-flight remote checkup. So they check in, make sure everything's running as it should, but then the drone goes on its way. These drones in particular are about 20 pounds. So these aren't light drones. These are 20-pound drones that can, again, perform all kinds of things way out in the field is really what we're thinking about with this. This isn't necessarily delivery that's going to happen over a neighborhood, although that's on its way as well. But this is looking at construction, and various things along those lines. As you can see right here, taking a look at different agricultural reasons that you would need a drone like this. They could also have, they stay inside weatherproof stations. So they charge and then they go back to this station. So that's how they can leave them out there. So this is something that's more of a permanent use. Like say you would be using this consistently, you'd pay to have one stationed on your property. And that way it can charge, come back, be safe in the weather, but then they can trigger it whenever they want and have it go up and do a survey or check on power lines, say. There's just a lot of different things that you could do with it. And it'll have a lot of the data processing, data transmission. A lot of that will happen from the base station. So that's the one thing that needs to be connected. Has a detect and avoid feature on it. It's pretty complicated actually how it works. So it even uses auditory responses, so it can tell vibrations if there's something near it. Not that it's likely to encounter something else out there, but still you want to have that kind of safety measures on board with it. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So the FAA approving this for autonomous drone use, and we'll have to see if that continues on for other ones. But you got to think this is just the start of it. So pretty cool story there. Pretty interesting to see how that's going to work out. All right, something else that happened over this weekend. Let's talk about a satellite launch, but not your typical satellite launch. This wasn't a SpaceX one. This wasn't a rocket going up, setting satellites into orbit. This was a 747 that went up and then launched basically satellite missiles off of it. So this has been the plan for a long time for Virgin Galactic, Virgin, you know what Virgin is, but this is Virgin Orbit. This is a specific branch of them, and this is what they want to do in order to get what's really mini satellites up into orbit. And that's something that a lot of companies have wanted to do. You see SpaceX doing it, where satellites can kind of hitch a ride with bigger payloads, but these are the smaller ones that aren't going as high up into orbit. But this is a way to get them up for a less expensive way. And they had a successful test mission, and that is what you're seeing right there is some of the footage. It's pretty cool to see. This was part of Launch Demo 2, where they sent up 10 CubeSat satellites and put them into low Earth orbit. Essentially, it's this. The 747 flies up to about 35,000 feet, and then from there, it's specially set up to launch these rockets off of it that will then go up into orbit. It saves that, in their mind, once you're already up that high, it's less energy and fuel to get it up into the orbit, which is true, and they think that this is a more sustainable way to get these smaller satellites up. So this one in particular, it's got a Newton 3 engine that's on there. That's as far as getting it up in there. This is from Launcher 1 is the name of the 747. but that's what they're looking to do with it, and so it's a pretty interesting way to get those up. They can deliver up to 1,100 pounds of satellites into orbit, so that's kind of they can get a lot into that. You can fit a lot of little satellites into that, and that's how they are looking at doing it. But pretty fascinating what they've done. Now with this Launch 2, this follows along. Virgin Galactic just did another test as well, so Virgin's really picking up what they're doing here. Virgin Orbit with Launch 2 now has some contracts in the works with NASA and various other companies, so that's going to be happening more and more. But yeah, okay, excuse me. The 747 carrier plane is known as Cosmic Girl. Cosmic Girl, my bad. That is the name of it. How dare I do that? My bad. Cosmic Girl. Anyway, went up, but that is from Virgin Galactic, so pretty Virgin Orbit. Pretty cool what they were able to do. Continuing on here with some trending news to get you started here for today. Just a couple more things to keep you up to date with if you are a fan of games. Well, Hitman 3 is out on Wednesday, and they released their launch trailer for it, the third in the trilogy, Hitman 3 coming out, and a few things that you should know. So developer IO Interactive, obviously, and the game is going to take you to 6 different locations, and that's what you kind of get to see in the trailer. So Dubai, England, Argentina, Romania, China, and Berlin, where you're, assassinating people. And it's going to be out for pretty much all platforms on January 20th. It's definitely a big launch to have out, but there's a few things that people should know about because there's been some rumors about whether or not you can port over some of your locations from Hitman 1 and 2. That was part of the things that was supposed to be really cool about this game. And then there came word that PC gamers may have some issues with that. So here's what the statement, the most latest statement is. And it has to do with, for Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, you won't have to purchase the games another time. That has been something that a lot of people were speculating. That was speculation anyway, that you would have to repurchase these games. You don't have to do that, but you may still have to purchase some things. They'll make the Game of the Year Access Pass for Hitman 1 available for free for PC customers. So if you pre-order Hitman 3 on the Epic Game Store or buy it within the first 10 days. So you do that, you'll get that for free. But number 2, you may still have to purchase it. They said that it's going to be available for an 80% discount for 2 weeks. But yeah, if you already bought the game, that's probably kind of annoying that you would have to do that again in order to bring those over. So that's something to be aware of if you are a PC user looking to just walk right in and have access to all of that. They keep on updating what they're going to be doing. They said that there's patches that are going to be coming out. There's more things that they're going to have, so maybe they'll be able to fix that here down the line. But as of right now, that's kind of where you're at. So if you're a PC gamer, watch out. Either way, Hitman 3 does look pretty amazing. That trailer's pretty cool on what they're showcasing. So 6 different locations, and that is out on January 20th. Final thing here for today. Now, as we are all online, if you want something to just kind of take your mind off, well, kind of, but also reminisce about 2020, I guess that's a weird way to put it. But there is a new web-based game out based on 2020. And the game itself is one of those classic web scrolling games. It takes you through the real major highs of 2020, a lot of them anyway. You can walk through the Australian fires, you go through coronavirus, you go through quarantine at one point, Zoom meetings, there's all kinds of different things that you do, the election, and stock market crashing right there, that says it's falling on you. So there's a lot of different events that happen in it. It takes about 10 minutes to play it. It's pretty fun, and it's this guy, Max Garkavi. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's been working on this for about 6 months and put this game out. So it's 2020game.io, something to take a look at and check out if you want to take about 10 minutes away from working today and scroll through that. It is pretty entertaining what he's come up with. So take a look at that right there, 2020game.io. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I know I just kind of went through a lot there right at the beginning of this and talking about different trending things that are going on in tech. But again, it is MLK Day, and so I highly suggest checking out some of those virtual events that are happening, taking a look through those, taking a minute today to make sure that you follow up and see what's going on there. We will keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of technology, though. That is what we do here, and entertainment and culture. We've got all of that. And I want to suggest that you go check out our YouTube channel, YouTube youtube.com/2boxmedia, TWO Box Media. That's where you can go there, hit subscribe, share, like. It makes a big difference for us. We appreciate everybody who's doing that. And thank you for joining us. Let us know what you think about everything we talked about, though. Let us know in the comments. I will say this, there's another rocket launch that's scheduled to happen tomorrow from SpaceX, and we will be carrying that on our social media platforms. So if you hit subscribe, you'll get the notification. You can watch a rocket launch right along with us. That is going to be awesome. So another reason just to hit subscribe. It's great. And that's it for today. But I do want to encourage you to send us an email, info@2boxmedia.com, greg@2boxmedia.com. Let us know what you think. If you have somebody you think would make a great guest, send us that. If you have a product you think we should take a look at, send us that. All of those things. Send us an email. We appreciate that as well. I say appreciate a lot, but it means I appreciate it. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more 2 Box Live.